We need to have an honest conversation.
Uh-oh.
Right now, me and you. Let's have an honest
What
talk.
do you mean?
Hello,
Wait, me
viewer.
and you, or you mean them?
No, me and viewer here. Hello, viewer.
I'm viewing.
Yes, who has decided to join me today? I'm going to ask you a question, and I need you to be as honest with me as you can. Am I just completely whitewashed? Am I completely ignoring black culture and significance and cannot see the significance of an all black cast in a superhero movie in a fictional town? Like, why does that not mean anything to me? This is not the first black superhero to have a major motion picture release. Catwoman did it. Blade did it. Nick Fury and the Avengers did it. Why is this suddenly a big deal?
Question.
Please, if you could answer this question for me. I'll tilt it down to my beautiful wife here.
It is, you don't have to keep it on me.
I don't mind. You look good.
But now you're showing all your business.
No, I got on drawers. I'm alright.
Yeah, but then I get jealous if people see my
Whatever.
favorite person. Okay,
well come sit up then.
Okay, fine.
Weirdo.
Be so mean.
I don't
I have an answer,
see
seriously.
the point.
I have an answer.
Want to hold this?
Sure.
You're better at the holding.
In other words, you want
I'm
me
lazy.
to do the
I'm
work.
being very lazy.
To answer your question,
please do.
It is because it is 2018 and the Black Lives Matter movement and, for our people and fight the power, that is current and trending and has been for a little while. So anything black related that's mainstream automatically equals our people. Yeah.
Why?
And you know what's funny? And actually it pissed me off. There's this thing, because it's releasing at midnight. And there are videos where I saw a video where a bunch of black people went to see Black Panther, and they got there early in the theater, and they had a potluck in the theater. And they were all decked out in African attire. They look like Coming to America. There was one guy literally dressed like the king or whatever from Coming to America.
See, you bring up a really good point. Why was this big fuss not made for Coming to America, which had a predominantly black cast?
Because it was a comedy, and it was in the 80s or early 90s.
Where was all of this fuss for the Blade trilogy? Again, black superhero.
Again, different time. We live in a very PC, Black Lives Matter, LGBT, as you would say, elemental P world, where any little shine on anything that's ethnic, it's like, oh my god, and they make it such a huge deal. That's why they're making a big deal. It's not and what pissed me off is last night I read something where someone said that they purchased a ticket for Black Panther simply because it was an all-black cast, but they had no interest in seeing the movie. And it made me upset because most people are going to see this movie not because it is a Marvel movie and it goes with the story. Most of the people haven't even seen Civil War. I personally did not see Civil War. It's one of the few.
Civil War? I'll watch
probably
Civil
not
War
tonight, but I would like to watch it. But the reason I wouldn't watch Civil War is because I just never got a chance to. But I have seen all of the other Marvel movies. I am up to date. But my point is, most people they don't even watch like the superhero movies. They're going to see Black Panther because there are black people in it. And what's crazy is, and I saw this and I think it's actually true, a lot of people think it's about the Black Panthers, as in like 70s Black Panthers. Like,
man, it's gonna be a lot of black folks who gonna get to the theater and be disappointed.
Like, what do you think? They literally think it's about a black guy in Africa who's a king who's fighting for the rights of black people. It's like,
no. Well, we're gonna glaze over the fact that the lead antagonist is Michael B. Jordan, so really we're advocating black on black crime.
And what's crazy too is
he's not fighting the white man.
Didn't you say it? It was like people are upset because apparently, what's his name? Michael
B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan
is the villain of the movie.
He's not dating a black woman.
And people wanted to boycott the movie because he's not dating a black woman.
Also, there's another crazy thing where they have a petition going, which is this is bull. They want Disney and Marvel to use 25% of the money they make from the movie and give it back to the black community. Excuse me? Who are you? How about instead of you paying to see the movie, you just keep that in your pockets?
Movie studios are in the business of making money. This is a superhero movie, one of 30 plus in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This one just so happens to be in the fictional country of Wakanda. Not a real place. It's not Africa. It's Wakanda. It's a completely fictitious.
Is it supposed to be place. In Africa? Like, is it like Wakanda, Africa, or is it like Wakanda, aka kind of like Africa?
No, I watched a clip where there's a guy. There are two white guys in the movie. The only two white guys in the movie, and they're having a conversation. And he says they went looking in South America. It was really in Africa the whole time. But even if that's the case, what you're saying is we want to glorify a completely fictitious, made-up place. Let's celebrate the fact that you made up a place in Africa that's beautiful, run by kings, and he's got superpowers.
You know why people are happy? They're like, oh, at last, there's a movie that's representing our people as kings and queens and not as thugs, and this and that. It's like, but, wait a minute.
Like, I don't understand it. I really don't. Like, when I was a kid, and I know it's stupid. It's really stupid. Yeah. Every year on my birthday, my parents would give me a cake. They say, blow out the candles. What do you wish for? For the first 12 years of my existence, I wished to be Superman.
Oh, he's so cute.
Not because he was a white man, but because I wanted fucking superpowers.
Oh, he's so cute. Did it come true? Yes, it came true because you're my Superman.
Oh, hush. One of the best cinematic experiences I ever had is when I went to see the original theatrical release of Iron Man. And I couldn't have cared less that it was a white man in the suit. He was a superhero. I was just there for the ride. It didn't matter to me what color his skin was. I don't care.
Do you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I grew up in the 80s where it was horribly frowned upon to be a mixed kid. And I was in a bad neighborhood. And I didn't realize my father was white until I was 5 years old. We went to parent-teacher conference and somebody said, why is your father white and your mama black? I was like, what are you talking about? That's my dad, that's my mom. Yeah. Like, I was just raised not to see such things. So for people who keep putting all this emphasis on, oh, look at this, it's black power, finally, people of color are doing this. Where were you with the Tyler Perry movies? Y'all didn't come out in droves for Boo the Medea movie, did you? No.
You know why? It's because it's like those are like comedic roles or comedic movies. And they're for this like, oh, they're taking it seriously, this and that. Do you remember Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
Tropic Thunder was awesome, right? You could not come out with Tropic Thunder now because they would be like, oh, that's blackface.
Look, Robert Downey Jr. played the hell out of a black man, all right? I didn't even know it was Robert Downey Jr. till I saw the credits, and I didn't care. It was just a good movie. It was just funny. People need to get over this, oh, we need to be empowering the black kids. It's like, no, let's empower the kids. Like, let's tell these kids that, yes, you can do whatever you want if you work hard. Why are you drawing this line in the sand? Well, see, now Marvel got 36 white movies and it's only one black movie. Black Panther was only in Avengers 2 for like 8 minutes.
We need to make up new black superheroes for the sake of doing it.
Right? It's like, don't change the color of a superhero because it's like, oh, well, let's just keep up with the times. Just create a new black superhero.
I will admit that I didn't know about Black Panther until recently. But I was excited for Black Panther not because he was black. I was excited for Black Panther because I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, that looks like really good. I thought it was interesting and different, definitely, but I thought it looked really good. But I would have been just as interested in Black Panther if it was called, like, Red Panther and it was about, like, Native Americans or something. Like, I just thought it looked like a really good movie. What's crazy is most people didn't even know what Black Panther was until they saw it. It was like, oh, it's an all-black cast. I'm interested. It's like, apparently he comic books and everything in the 60s, and most people don't talk about that. They're just like, oh, black movie, let's go see it and support our people. And it's like, excuse me,
where was all this black uprising when Netflix gave you Luke Cage?
Right,
not in a fictional city. He was in an actual city where shit was happening.
What about that really crappy new black superhero show that nobody's talking about?
On the CW?
It's really bad.
It's really bad. It's terrible. Like, I'm sorry. To be fair, I've only watched the one episode, but it was just like, I used to be a superhero, but now I'm a high school principal trying to make a difference.
Here's the thing. I don't want to hear any more African American people, or just people. I'll say just people. I don't want to hear any more fuss about, oh, racist this, racist that when it comes to media, when you have a channel called Black Entertainment Television.
On Black History Month.
There is no such thing as a WET. Like, there's no such thing as
but the argument for that is, well, all the other channels are white.
Oh, I'm sorry, so you name me another channel where you've never seen a black person show up. Like, most of the time, like, and what's crazy is, that's the sad thing. When you have a black film, it's like, there's always, like, two white characters that are, like, you know, in the background. Like, oh, look, we're here. And it's kind of like making fun of them. And it's like, but when you accuse other races of doing that, it's racist and wrong. So why is it okay that you do that?
Two black people in that same movie. Why the black people gotta look so silly? Why is it only two of them?
I enjoy movies. I enjoy the things that are like, I could care less what your ethnicity is. I don't care. Like, we were talking about this earlier. I have never referred to myself as a black female, blah, blah. No, I'm just Asia. I'm just Asia. Like, even when it comes to, like, signing forms and it's, like, your ethnicity, like, sometimes I'll just, like, not answer, just put other, because I don't care. I really just don't care. I never thought about, like, what's my percentage of this and that. I mix with a lot of different things, but I never think about, like, how much I am. I don't go around and say, oh, guys, I'm black and Native American. That's why I have good hair. You know, I don't care about that. I'm Asia.
And I hate to say it this way, I consider myself black. I was going to say I identify. I don't identify as black. I am a black man. My mother was a black woman. I look more predominantly black than I do white. I'm a black dude.
But you're just as black as you are white.
Yeah, I'm just as white as I am black. Like, none of these things matter to me. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was the way I was raised. Maybe this is a superior parenting job that my parents did, that I don't see color. I don't care about race. When I met Asia, I didn't go, that's a sexy black woman. I was like, there's a pretty girl I want to get to know.
I noticed something, and I'll say it here since the camera's on. And this is how much is, I think, a good sign on how, or a good example of how much you don't care about race. It's funny, I was reading, right, earlier with you, and I forgot about this part. I didn't think about it until I reread it, and how Skylar was, like, Serenity showed up, right?
Okay.
And he's like, you know, thinking about, like, oh, you know, you have to, he has to be okay, blah, blah, and all that stuff, whatever, right? So he instantly thinks that it's Sid, the baby, you know, Sid's pregnant, but he doesn't know if it's a boy or girl or whatever, right? So then he has a moment where he just assumes, oh, she must be my daughter. Only for later in the series to realize, no, that's Nick and Asia's baby, which would mean that she's a mixed girl. But you never think like, oh no, Sydney and Skylar are both white, so there's no way that Serenity could be my child. There was just no, like, it was just like, here's a girl, and she came back from the future.
This is all this is completely
but
lost
you get what I'm saying,
I get your point. Like, I didn't write a black character.
Yeah.
I wrote a character, like, ethnicity be damned. Like... My dream, oh my god, my biggest dream, what gives me the biggest stiffy every morning,
what about me?
Oh hush, is to one day have a Netflix original series with what I've been writing. And I want to play a hand in casting. I'll stand back and I'll let the director direct, and those guys can do their thing, but I want a hand in casting because I know what these people look like. Mm-hmm. And if a Latino girl shows up and plays the hell out of the main role, she's a Latino chick.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't cast for black. And that's another problem I had with Black Panther, is that they went out of their way. It's got a black director. You know, it's got a black dude doing the cinematography. It's a white woman doing producing though. So.
Do you remember when I never even saw the movie, but Zoe Saldana did that movie where she was like, it was some biography. It was about some lady.
Yes,
and she
I
had
have
to
that.
be darker.
And people
like,
got pissed off
at
at
it's
her.
like, but wait a minute, but she is the how so I'm sorry, she not only does she have to be black, she has to be a certain complexion.
She has to be black enough.
She has to be black. Like, I'm sorry, excuse me? How does that make any sense? Like, I'm not saying if you're doing a movie about Hitler, I'm not saying, go and get, an Asian man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying have diversity for the sake of having diversity, but if someone plays the part, they play the part.
They just play the part. Like, technically the role in Tropic Thunder, technically that was blackface. But when you really think about blackface, it's literally, here's a white guy, pale as can be, and he's got on black makeup, not brown. Like he's got metal. It's just black, and you can see it around the eyes. It's like it's clearly just blackface because they're making fun of you.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like that was a big deal a long time ago, and I get why that would be offensive. But unless like someone is literally like again, Tropic Thunder, you can't do that anymore. Like that's just a done deal. That was the last time you could get away with doing that.
Also, he said retard, which you can't get away with anymore.
Fair. But
you never go for a retard.
But now it's like I don't understand
there's no cultural significance to this all black film.
World. I don't like this world.
Like it's not Marvel's not even like the first all black cast. What a black hero for this generation. It's Black Panther. It's just here's a dude. He's Black Panther. When his father was Black Panther, nobody was making a big fucking fuss about it. He was in the Avengers. Nobody made a fuss. Nobody complained when his father died. It's like, oh, I can't believe they killed a black superhero. Because he's just a superhero. He's one of many. Where were you guys when we had a black Green Lantern? Where were you guys when Nick Fury got cast? When Sam Jackson got the part? Where were you for Blade?
Honey, you don't understand.
Where were you for Meteor Man?
Where
were you for Catwoman? Where were you for Luke Cage?
And most of the cast is black.
Luke Cage, look, nobody gave Luke Cage shit when he was fucking Jessica Jones.
Right?
Like, nobody batted an eye. It was just, well, I guess he got him some white booty. But now, because it's Marvel, look,
but Luke Cage is Marvel.
Netflix is as big a juggernaut as Disney, in my opinion. And Marvel owns Luke Cage. Why was there no fuss there? But now Michael B. Jordan, whose girlfriend is not even in the movie. Why would that matter to you, who he's dating? That's like saying, well, I heard Michael B. Jordan's not a vegan, and I am a vegan, so I can... Who gives a fuck what you think?
And what's sad
Go see the movie, or don't.
It really is making me upset, but I'm trying not to let it affect me because I really do want to see the movie. It looks like a good movie. I just have to go and see the movie with the mindset of, I am not seeing this for the reason that a lot of people are seeing this. I'm seeing it because I'm legitimately interested. I'm
seeing it just like I said, the same way I wanted to see Ant-Man. The same way I saw Spider-Man Homecoming. It's just part of the Marvel Universe, and I want to keep up.
I'm as excited, like, for me personally, like, I enjoyed Avengers 2 quite a bit. I really liked Ultron and everything, and I was pretty excited to see that. I was pretty excited to see Deadpool 2. I'm about that excited to see Black Panther. But there's a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because of how people are treating it. And it's like, I just have to remember, just because other people are stupid, I'm not going to be put in that category. I know I'm going to see it.
Where was all this fuss when Cyborg was in the Justice League?
Oh, but Cyborg didn't get his own movie.
Nobody said nothing about poor Cyborg. Oh, look, finally a black actor. No, because it's a character in a movie. That's it. So it's a Cyborg in the comics was a black dude. So to keep up with the comics, they cast a black dude. Nobody said anything. Aquaman was a white dude, but they cast Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
That is so
Nobody said anything.
That is so true.
Look, I don't know
but you don't understand, honey. Our people were oppressed for years.
I don't know what Gal Gadot is. That's not a white girl. Wonder Woman is a white woman. Nobody accused anybody of hiring her for that. Why is that not addressed? Why is it because it's a black thing? We've got to make such a big fucking fuss about it. I'm gonna go see the movie. It's gonna be a decent movie. I hear it's got 2 after credit scenes. I'm pumped up. It's a progression of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now that Marvel is in the midst of actually buying DC, now's the time to keep up, because eventually you'll get to see the crossovers you never got to see, and you don't want to be 5 or 6 films behind.
They are saying that it's not that, Black Panther is like the first to be like in a movie. They're saying he was the first to appear in a comic book. So it's a big deal because it was the first black to appear in the movie.
Was it an all-black comic book?
I don't know. I didn't look at it. But honestly,
and even if it was a comic book in the 60s, when fucking racism was rampant.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Even if it was an all-black comic book, it is supposed to be set in a fictional Africa. So that makes sense. The same way if, for instance, there was, I don't know, a superhero who was Japanese, it would make sense that, for instance, anime. No one gets mad when black people aren't in anime. You know why? Because it's Japanese. So there are Japanese characters in most anime.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not up on Suicide Squad. I don't think Deadshot was originally a black dude.
I don't know originally Deadshot.
But nobody had issues when Will Smith got the part. So it's okay as long as it's black people. Mm-hmm. It's okay based on the color of your skin. That's textbook racism. And don't say, it's racism is only racism if you got the power to execute it. Well, apparently they made an all-black movie. How much more power do you need? Why is this? But it doesn't count because it's a positive thing for the black. It's not for the black movement. It's not.
It is literally part of the Marvel universe. And you know what's going to happen after this movie? They're going to go into the next movie, and you may or may not hear about Black Panther, but black people are going to get upset and say, why aren't there any more black superhero movies? Because we weren't doing this to say, hey, look, black people, there's a black superhero. We were advancing the freaking story.
Like, where's all this uprising for Static Shock? Static Shock had a series that lasted for 4 seasons, and he was part of the Justice League. We don't hear about Static Shock. But Black Panther, the most minor of characters, okay? He's not even a big deal, all right? He's a minor character.
Who's the one character we were talking about last night? He was doing stuff with Iron Man.
War Machine.
Is that what?
No. Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon.
Nobody talks about Falcon.
Falcon, the first Black Avenger. No, it's just... he's an Avenger. He also happens to maybe because he light skinned.
No, he wasn't. He was dark skinned.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
But either way.
So now there are 2 black Avengers.
Like, well, do you remember when Obama was first elected and people were like, well, how black is he? Why does that matter? Like, why does that matter at all?
It's not supposed to matter. You can't say you're fighting for equality when what you really want is more. Mm-hmm. What you really want is extra. We were talking about this last night. I did not mean for this to go as long as it did, but we're here now. I am 42 years old. I'm almost 43. I've done my share of dirt. I've been in the back of police cars. I've spent time in jail. It's not nice. And when I say I was in jail, it's like my total cumulative amount of time in jail was like 3 days across my entire lifetime. Okay, so it's not like, I was in there for larceny or some shit. Like, over 42 years, I spent like 3 days in jail. Not once did I fear for my life because of the color of my skin. Not once if I saw an officer that I think I had to put my hands up or he would shoot me. I've never gone to an interview and felt like it went really well, but the skin tone I presented may have hindered me from my chances. I don't walk down the street in constant fear of anything, and if that's the life that you lead, I'm sorry for you. Maybe you need to move to a better area.
Or maybe you need to stop doing shit where you could possibly die. Like, here's the thing, in most cases, from what I have seen personally, I'm not saying I know it all, but it's like you will have a person, I've seen videos like go on Facebook where like there's a guy and he's speeding or something and he gets pulled over by the cops and he gets in defense mode and he turns on his camera and they're like, okay, sir, can I see your license and registration? He's just like, why do you need to see this? You're literally trying to cause a problem, and that's the problem. It's like cops usually approach black people cautiously because
about shit you hear on the news.
Exactly. And then black people are approaching cops with an attitude because they assume
shit they hear on the news.
Exactly. And now there's just this conflict all the time. And it's like, I just, and it's not even just like a black man thing. It's just black people, black men and women. And it's like, every time I see a cop, I'm just like, it's just a person. I don't get nervous because I've never had any issues with the cops ever. Like, I don't understand the issue. I really don't. If anything, when I see a cop, I feel safer. I'm just going to be honest.
Right? Like, if I'm walking down the street and a cop car rolls by, it's just like my heart don't flutter. Oh, maybe he after me. I'm thinking, damn, maybe it's some shit going on down the street. Let me hurry home. Like, maybe I don't want to be out here in this. There were times, especially when we first moved in over here, and I would walk to the store in my hoodie, and I would get stopped. Where you going? I'm going to the store. Oh, for what? I'm getting a Pepsi. Where do you live? Over here. Would you like to see my ID, sir? Here you go. And he would look me up and find out it wasn't. All right, you get home safe. Yes, sir.
But people usually get defensive because they're either hiding something or they feel entitled. How dare you try to protect the city, and
right? Because
make sure that I'm not doing anything wrong.
I would much rather he be out there just in case.
If you're not doing anything wrong, you should have nothing to be afraid of. Simple as that. If you're afraid, you probably did something you had no business doing.
Now, I have to say, yes, there are cases where the kid cooperates and there's a crooked cop here and there. And yes, I do urge that the police department has to do better in that area.
Absolutely.
But 8 times out of 10 is some regular shit on a regular day and a regular cop who just want to go home to his family, who gets stopped by some black kid who's sagging his pants, got drugs in his pocket, and got warrants, and now they gotta chase after his ass. And when they catch him, they trying to wrestle the gun out the cop's holster. Yeah, I shot him. What's that one video of the 8-year-old boy, and he got on the big jacket and the sweater and the hood, and he going around in the park pointing his fake gun at people, and the cop pulled up and lit him up. I don't care that you ate. I don't know. Here's a person pointing a weapon at people. I don't know what I don't know. Excuse me, sir. Is that a real weapon? How old are you? Light him up.
I can't really. I don't know. I can't really agree with that one because I don't know a lot about it. Like, it's a kid, you know. Like, I feel like maybe that could have been approached a lot better. Especially because it was a child. But I don't know. It's just, I feel like in that case, if no one had been hurt, and you just see a kid flashing a gun and pretending like he's gonna shoot people, and he's like 8 years old, after trying to cooperate with the kid, if he's still just being a kid and pointing the gun and stuff, then at that point you call back up and you come in with, I mean, maybe even a SWAT team. You know, SWAT team. SWAT team. You come in with your vest or whatever and get as close as you can.
I want to see that now. I want to see the SWAT team.
And you get the gun from him. And then once you see, okay, it's a fake gun, then we need to have a conversation with the parents. I don't think you should have just lit him up. I don't agree with that at all.
I understand that there are special cases and there will be circumstances in which some things could have been handled better. But at the same time, the way stereotypes have been perpetuated, black people are on edge, cops are on edge, and cops are out here to serve and protect. And when you got a black kid who say, I shouldn't have to pull my pants up because it's my culture. I should be able to have my hood on and not take my hands out of my pockets when you approach me because it's my culture and you trying to hinder me from being me, the cop has to assume you up to no good and take action. Like, and this will be the last example I fucking give because this video has gone on for a half an hour. We went from talking about Black Panther to other shit. Kari got in legal trouble a couple of years ago, which is the same reason I ended up going to jail. He was on the light rail, didn't buy a ticket, cop asked him for his name, Kari gave a fake name. When the cop found out Kari gave a fake name, he had to assume that Kari gave a fake name because he was a felon of some kind, because he was trying to hide from the law for some reason. And even then, I did not feel in danger. Even then, we sat at that light rail station and we mocked that poor guy. We talked so much shit about, no regrets, by the way. That shit was fucking hilarious. I was like, if I could go back and do it again, same result. That shit was fucking hilarious. But the fact is, cops have a job to do. And when you hinder that job, you make it more difficult for them. Kari didn't have his pants sagging. He didn't have a big hood on. He wasn't talking shit. He was a little snarky, but he still didn't get shot. So those kinds of cases are far and few between. You never hear about the cop who runs into an abandoned building and saves some kids. They don't want to talk about that. They want to talk about the negative shit. And now a little bit of positive shit comes to light. And don't get me wrong, it's nice that they want to say, oh, look, black people are doing something positive. Here's a Black Panther movie. But it's not a Black Power movie. You are attempting to associate it and say, oh, look, you should be doing this and you should give money to the black community because you're making money off of this black film. It's not a black film. It's a film with black people in it. There's a difference. I'm done.